So good afternoon in Abu Dhabi and good day wherever you are and from wherever you are joining us. It will be nice if you can actually mention on the chat box where you're joining from. First, I would like to introduce Inner Space. Inner Space has been in Abu Dhabi and has been serving internationally through Zoom and also through the retreats that we do around more than 14 years now here. And every Saturday we have a workshop like this, either in English or in Arabic. So there are thousands of workshops that have been done through Inner Space. And the idea is to help the community and to help the world become more peaceful. My name is Arif, and I've been there with Inner Space from its beginning. And I've been a student learning from Inner Space and also sharing what I've found very valued, what I've valued, and sharing it with others, which was even more rewarding. Today, we're going to go and look at empathy. And this was triggered because there is so much judgment that we make every moment. So, how can we create a non-judgmental attitude through empathy? And we are going to discuss today. As usual, this will be an interactive um, workshop, and there are a few things that I would like you to do so that you can experience what I'm talking about and you can take away something of value. So I would like once again to welcome you all. I'll be moving my gaze up and down so that I can see who's there on the group. So I think, yeah. All right. So did we get any response? From where are you joining? If you can just put on the chat box if you are from UAE or you're joining from any other place, if you can just put on the chat box so I can see some live on Kuwait, yes. Abu Dhabi, Abu Dhabi, UAE, yeah. What about the others? Where are you joining from? Istanbul. Okay, Turkey, yeah. Okay. As I said, this is going to be kind of international audience from Germany as well. Wonderful. Okay. Yeah, we love that whatever we are doing is spreading all over the world and maybe in some way touching people from places that we don't even know. So again, if you are in a place where you are not able to interact, I suggest that you try to find a place where you can at least sit somewhere where you're not going to be distracted. And if you can't, because I'll be sending you to groups so that you can discuss things, and that will be tricky at that time if you're not able to then if you're not able to interact. So today's title is Embracing Empathy, Cultivating a Non-Judgmental Mindset. Embracing empathy, cultivating a non-judgmental um, mindset. So I would like to start with a little story that most of you probably have heard in your childhood. And this story is about the old man with his donkey. And one day there was an old man with his son and a donkey, and they were going from their village to another place. And they were all walking. The donkey was with them, and the boy was with them, and the old man was with them. What together? They were all together. And somebody saw them. They were young people who were there, and they looked at them and they started laughing. And the old man asked, "Why are they laughing?" And they said that you have a donkey and you are all walking, right? So the old men thought that, yeah, oh, they've got a point that, we're all working and there's a donkey. Why don't we use the donkey? So he took his son and put him on the donkey, and they started moving on. They continued for a while, and there were some men who were standing there, and he said that, look at this boy, he is not ashamed that his old father is working and he's um, on the donkey, just enjoying. And so he stopped again, and he said, okay, fine. So, maybe I should ride and the boy will follow. So they did that, and they reached a place. There were some ladies who were just gathered, and they saw them, the old man on the donkey, and the boy was walking. And they said that, look at this old man. He's riding, and his poor young old boy is just walking. He's not ashamed. So he thought, oh, this is not nice. So he got down, and he started thinking now what to do. Um, so he said, okay, let me take the boy with me. So he took the boy with him, and they were all riding the donkey till they reached. And there was a young gentleman who saw them, and he saw that they were almost in the other town. And they saw them. He said that the old man and the boy are really troubling this donkey, putting so much weight. And so they told him, like, it's like, it's so unfair. And so what did he do? He's said that, okay, so now what do we do? So he got down, and the boy got down, and they arranged for something so that they can carry the donkey to the destination. And it wasn't very far where there were people, and he said that, look at these two people. Instead of using the donkey, they're carrying the donkey with them to the other destination, because by then they had covered all the options that were there and hearing to other people's comments. So this is a story that you might have heard before, and it's a very popular story. But I see that, and even though we might, laugh about it, but I see that we are always doing the same thing. We are always judging situations based on whatever our perception is. So based on that perception, we kind of see our world, and we make judgment based on that. And so what happens is that none of them are completely faultless. There is always something that somebody can add. And depending on where you look, who's right, which option was right? Anybody would like to say? Maybe there's an option which was right. Is it the donkey, the person, and the boy should just walk, or the boy should ride, or the father should ride, or both of them should ride, or they should carry the donkey? Anyone has some idea, or maybe a new idea? Maybe a new idea, you know. Maybe today they would say that, you have to, if you're doing this and it's a long distance, then you have to take a truck. But at those days, there was no truck, there was only donkeys. So the story was like that. Any thoughts? You can also speak, by the way. And it's good for us to check your sound, if I can hear you. So what do you think? Does this sound very strange to you, that such a thing became a very popular story? And how do you see it today? Okay, somebody says, Eva, taking turns on the donkey and allow the donkey some rest. And Iman says they should act based on everyone's current needs. Okay. So one is more consensus or something that is kind of um, will take uh, will take everyone's interest, and we split, which is usually what is happening today. Compromise is the big word, and then the other one is to see what is the need, and sometimes there is conflict as well. And Iman says, what about just don't care about what others think? Yeah, then you will be judged because you're not caring about what others think. Then use earplugs so they don't hear comments. Yeah, very good. Yeah, just put earplugs so that you don't hear. This is the story of the deaf uh, the deaf frog who managed to jump because he wasn't listening to other people's comment. Otherwise, you will be demotivated. So everything has a truth. But what I'm saying is, when we look at our lives and when we look at what happens in our lives, we notice that we are actually going through this ourselves. Every moment, the moment something appears, some kind of judgment is created in our minds. You see a person, you look at them, you start wondering, are they happy with me? Are they sad with me? Are they angry? Um, if they speak to you, you judge, because the moment somebody opens the mouth, you start judging what they said. If they don't speak to you, you complain that, why are they not speaking to me? You know, so you notice that in every moment in your mind, you are actually doing the same thing. You're commenting on a particular situation, you know. Even this moment right now, as I'm speaking, you are actually thinking and you are like, trying to see whatever I'm saying, does it land okay with you? Or maybe, you find maybe there is something not right, or maybe, the color of the shirt is not good. So it's always a constant process of making decisions and making judgment about our surroundings. And that can be very, very hard because on one side, we have to decide and we have to take a course. And also sometimes we have to take advice from others. But it becomes quite complicated because this happens every second. Every second in your life, you're doing the same thing like the people who are watching this. And some people really project themselves on the basis of others. Most of us feel valued, feel respected based on what other people say. So that becomes very important. Okay. It would be great if I could actually, put earplug not in the ears, but in the mind, so that I don't think all these things, because I can put here, then I have to close my eyes and I have to then move. So it's quite challenging then. So one of the things that is very tricky but very important is empathy, the ability to be able to see, feel, think what another person is actually going through. Now, none of us are mind readers. We are using our experiences and our opinions, beliefs to actually see what the other person is thinking and feeling at this point of time. And many times we are not right. We think we are right because that's what appears to be. But if we try and understand that when we use this process of empathy, we are able to understand that what I'm thinking might not be correct. We are able to see and understand that the other person is doing whatever they are doing based on their experience. And whether that experience is right for me or not right for me, it is okay for that person, because that's the conclusion that that person has reached. And often when we when we judge others, we don't even know their history. We don't even know anything about them. You know, sometimes just a person who's, you have not even known in any way, you judge, and you end up saying that, oh, they're just like that. They're not just like that. They are just like that because of some reason. I am just like the way I am because of some reason. Okay. And I'm not saying, this is the best thing, but for that person, that is the best thing that they know at that point of time, or this is the frequency in which they are thinking, you know. So empathy is the ability to understand and share feelings of others. Um, in today's increasing connected world, the necessity for empathy has never been greater, as it fosters collaboration, communication, and compassion across diverse community. It is so important today, where the world has become there's so much big population and the world is connected so much, that we need to be able to understand that a person from a particular culture, a particular belief, is thinking totally different from a person from, my culture, my beliefs. Um, and so how can we communicate unless we accept that there is a difference in the way we think, and it's okay to have that difference. Okay, the only thing I need to do is to be able to grow and be able to accept that person the way they are at that point of time. Okay, and not impose my ideas to them. You know, there is always a room for advising somebody, but if that person is not able to see, I have to accept them. And the same way, if somebody is telling me something, I have to listen to what they say, evaluate it on the basis of how I feel, and then make a decision on that basis. So it's not about shutting anybody down, but to consider the option that there might be another way um, that is possible. So um, why this is important? Because when we practice empathy, when we practice putting ourselves in another person's shoes, we are actually disconnecting ourselves from our rigid position of just looking at the scene, only half side of it, like, one part of it. So this actually um, helps us in increasing our emotional intelligence. Okay, we are able to know our emotions, and we are able to know other people's emotions by being more emotionally intelligent. Okay, and therefore we are able to then act based on that information. Otherwise, I'm just seeing half of the story. I'm not seeing the full story. The second thing is that it improves our communication with others. Okay, if I care to try and understand what this other person is feeling at this moment, then I'll be able to connect with that person. And connection brings harmony, brings peace. Okay, often there is resistance because I feel that this other person is an enemy and I have to protect myself. And therefore, I become very defensive. Yeah. And the third point, it reduces the chances of conflict. Okay. When I use this method of, showing empathy, then the chances that there is conflict reduces. I'm not saying that there should not be any difference of opinion. There is always difference of opinion. To me, I think every time there is a difference of opinion. But in that difference of opinion, it's okay. You know, I should not lose myself. I can just be stable. At the same time, having this understanding that, okay, the other person has a right. So acceptance is one of the big things. And we're going to look at different areas in which we can explore this subject deeper. So the role of non-judgmental mindset. So why in order to have empathy, we have to remove this judgment from our scene. we have to be able to understand where the other person is coming from. Yeah. So non-judgment, what it is all about is the ability to accept and embrace others without forming opinions or making evaluation. It's about acknowledging and respecting the diversity of human experience. We all are unique, we all are special, and our speciality is not an individual speciality. Our speciality is collective. In other words, what is happening to you affects me, and what is happening to me affects you and affects everybody else. So the idea that I am separate is what is causing this whole judgment part, because um, I see it from that separateness that I have, but I don't see that there is a level which is beyond just this physical, where we are all very, very, we are all the same, basically. We are all the same, and our needs are the same. Everybody is searching for peace, love, and happiness. The worst person is in the world, and what you would call the best person is all looking for peace, love, and happiness. And when we are able to understand this, then we are able to be non-judgmental. So now I have a question for you. What kind of judgments do you often make? What kind of judgment do you often make? And the second part of that question is, how does this impact your life? What kind of judgment do you often make, and how does it impact your life? Somebody would like to speak? Let's give a chance to those who would like to speak first and those who need to think. I'll just give you 1 minute to think about it. So people who have bad intention towards others. So your judgment is people who have bad intention towards others. What about them? Can you elaborate? So you see other people who have bad intentions, right? So if I see somebody as having bad intention, what happens then in your relationship with that person? So the question is, what kind of judgments do you often make about other people? And how does it impact your disconnect? Obviously, you go to a meeting with another party, typically when you have international meeting, and you smile and you say hello, but you don't trust the person because you've already said before that, oh, no, 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 I can't trust. And you're going to negotiate with that person. What do you think will be the outcome? You know, you might be saying nice words, but the feeling is this person, so I'm judging from inside, but outside I'm trying to show, you know, that, you know, we're trying to find peace, or we're trying to find another person. Says that sometimes I judge others by assuming they are happy. Sometimes I judge others by assuming they are happy. So what kind of judgment do you have when you assume that they're happy? Or you just say that to tell yourself that it's okay? What's the judgment part? From your side? Or if you like, you can unmute and speak also. About the attitude in life. Yeah, this is another one about attitudes. Yeah, attitude is one big one. The moment you see an attitude, immediately there is judgment. But as I said, we don't know anything about that person sometimes, you know. So we actually, one of the big reason for judging is right and wrong. If you see somebody doing something, or if you see somebody behaving in a certain way, your perception of right and wrong immediately comes in, and then you start judging good, bad, right, wrong, nice, not nice. Yeah, so there is a liberation from that point of assuming they are happy. When I see them smile, I just assume they are happy, but they may be going through things. Definitely, yes. And it's a big one, as I just said, we pretend a lot, you know, but that pretense doesn't remove. You see somebody smiling, you talk to them just for 3 minutes, you will figure out all the thousands of things that they're like, complaining about within. But outside, they can be smiling. And the other way is also true. You might see somebody who's, looks very upset and um, and they're just going through different things in life. They're not bad people, you know. So you would say, oh, why this person is not even smiling? But you don't know what's the load that is there inside their head, you know. So I think a better approach would be just to understand that this person is coming from some space, and I can um, I can try to get one step closer by trying and wanting to know, you know. Even, sometimes we say, you can ask somebody and they will tell you, oh, I'm very happy, you know. But in reality, they're not happy because the culture and the conditioning that they might have and the norms of the society is like, oh, yeah, you should always say that, everything is okay and I'm fine and I'm happy, you know. And,
Can I say
sometimes
something?
it just, yes, please.
Can I say something?
Yes, please. Yes. Your name first.
Sometimes,
Your name
Jamila,
first.
Jamila,
Jamila, yes.
sometimes we assume this person is an adult, so they should know this or that or the other. But sometimes it's the number of years is not does not indicate the level of maturity.
Mm, yeah.
So sometimes adults behave as if they are children.
Yeah.
And it's because even though they may be 20, 50 years old, but in their mind, they're not mature.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So
So
again,
we judge on the number of years, not on the level of maturity.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Again, it's the same thing. It's a little bit of understanding what is it and where that person is coming from. Just having an adult body doesn't mean that, they are mature. And, what is their story? Actually, it's the story that determines what they think, what they do, what they say, how they feel. So it's very true. Yeah. Okay. So next, I think I have spoken quite a bit, and let's look at the time. Okay, it's good time now. So there are a few things that are useful, and they can create good foundation to build empathy. Okay, and the first one is we have already talked a little bit about, which is emotional intelligence. The second thing is there are different techniques that you can develop to increase empathy. How we listen to others. Often we are not even listening to others. When somebody is speaking, I'm preparing a response to that. So I'm not really listening to them. I'm just, looking at what is inside here, what is my need, rather than what's the other person's need. And empathy cannot be developed, just thinking about myself. It's thinking about myself and also thinking about other people. Yeah. So listening is very important in this. And the third is, again, super, super important. It's about recognizing the bias and in my, when I am judging, you know. So often we have these biases, but we don't know that we have these biases. And because we don't know that we have biases, then what happens is we treat other people, there's prejudice, there is favoritism, there is so many things that come that, you know, um, creates distance between me and the other person. So there's a question here. What about people who harm others, like in wars? Should we feel empathy with them? Definitely. The people who need most empathy are those who are most suffering. Whether you are harming somebody or you are being harmed, you are suffering. You can't harm unless you're suffering. So empathy, one thing that you have to understand is having empathy to the person does not mean you agree to what they're doing. You don't have to agree or you don't have to do what they're doing to have empathy. You just have to understand. Look at the person who has just started his life with his family killed just in front of them. We have seen these kind of situations happening. Look at this person being brought up, understanding that, that's the enemy, that's the enemy. you know Look at this person who's been taken and been given, instead of playing with toys, they play with, guns. Look at this person whose his whole like country is upside down. Whatever side you are, it does not matter. Empathy is for everyone. Okay. Again, I'm not imposing this, I'm asking you to think about it deeper. Okay, and understand that if there is any peace that is going to come, it is not going to come by drawing lines, me and the other. Okay, in one level, anyone in this planet who is suffering is creating suffering in you. And anyone in this planet who is happy is creating happiness in you. Okay, this is happening at a level which is beyond just this, what we see and what we hear. This is happening energetically. Okay, and this is now not no longer a spiritual idea. It's a science now. Okay, we know that every thought that you create affects everyone in this planet, every single one. Every feeling that comes, every sorrow, every pain affects everyone. And for this, you have to go beyond just what you see with your eyes and beyond the beliefs that you have and grow in that level. But you can start from this level, your relationships. We have issues with our friends and our family, you know. So just let's start from somewhere, you know. Okay, so now enough talking and let's do some work. So the first exercise that I would like you to do, and this exercise is about perspective um, in a particular scenario. Okay, so what I would like you to do, you will be put into pairs, and in your pairs, you will be sharing a story from your perspective about a challenging situation. Okay, so there is something that has happened before, and you will be sharing your story to your partner, and then you will be taking the position of another person in that story. Okay, so first you will be sharing that, this and so happened, and this is the challenging situation. Now I would like you then to take out yourself and put yourself to the other person's shoes, and I would like you to speak as if they were speaking back to you. Okay, and the other person who's your partner will be listening, and they will be Okay. And at the end, I would like you to reflect on your own experience and the value of doing this exercise, of changing the perspective, you know. So it's very simple, a story from your point of view. Okay, let's say, for example, there's a misunderstanding between me and my partner. Okay, what's my perspective on this? And then I take away myself and I speak on behalf, like I am my partner and I'm speaking back to me. Okay, the partner who will be in the breakout room with you will just listen and try to pick up certain feelings as you share this with that person. Okay, and then at the end I would like you to reflect on your experience, and the value of this, taking this, doing this exercise. Okay, if there's any question, otherwise, Rabia, if we can put everyone in the breakout rooms. There's one comment. Yeah, two people. Okay, so now you can join the breakout rooms. I didn't receive any. No, I have not received a message. Okay. How many are there? So they can hear me at the moment. So Anita, Badria, Eva, Nazim, Shobha, and V, if you can join the breakout rooms. Did you receive a message for joining the breakout rooms? If there's any issue, can you please let us know? Sorry, couldn't stay. Yeah. Sorry, could I stay out of the exercise? You can't stay out of the exercise. Why don't you just do it by yourself? Just do it by yourself, because it's important so that we develop this idea. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. So those who are not able to join the breakout rooms, just you know, you can just take a pen and a paper and just write down. Um, you can actually write it down. Yes, if you'd like, you can speak it. That just listen to, when you speak, just listen to yourselves, and then speak on behalf of the other person, and then reflect on what has come out. Oh, now we have more. Somebody just joined, I think. So if you just joined, please let us know so we can explain you the exercise. We are actually doing an exercise at the moment. If you just joined, let me know. Actually, you can see the exercise on the screen. Okay, so welcome those who have done the exercise, whether with a partner or by yourself. If you can share what was your reflection and how does it feel when you look at whatever the issue is from your point of view, and then when you um, say the same thing but from the other person's point of view, what was your reflection? You can unmute and speak if you like. So can you share what has come up for you in this exercise?
Well, I don't think I'm able to give a real feedback on the exercise because maybe I did not fully understand it. That the partner I was uh, connected to in this exercise, um, because we don't know each other, I thought that we were supposed to talk to a partner that we know, yeah, talk about something challenging because I don't the one in this group, yeah, I don't know him or her, and so I did not have any challenging situation to talk to from my perspective because I don't have a challenging situation with this partner in the conversation. So we exchanged views, opinions about different behaviors, yeah, and went into more details. But it was more or less an exchange of opinions about views on life, yeah, not really the point on this exercise.
Okay, so let me just explain. Just stay with me for a moment. Is there
Yes.
any challenging situation that I mean, challenging situation doesn't have to be a catastrophe, just any challenging situation that you have at the moment.
Give you Beispiel.
No, I have a challenge. We have challenge situation with my wife, for example. Yeah, she does not. She does not.
Anything. I mean, you don't have to give details. Just
I know.
briefly. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So like I have sometimes I have behaviors in the house, whatever it is, yeah, and that my wife doesn't like, yeah, and I just do it. Maybe I like to relax for 15 minutes when I come home and not talk to anyone, yeah, and she doesn't like that, yeah. So
Okay.
so she tells me this, yeah, and she has no. For me, she's pushing, yeah, because I want these 15 minutes for myself, yeah,
Yeah.
in quiet, not talking to anyone. It's not against her, not against anyone, yeah, just this, and she doesn't want to let me go because she has something that she wants to tell me, something urgent, whatever it is, yeah. And finally, I'm home, so she wants to tell me, yeah. So
Yeah.
this is
So
a
now,
challenging
so
situation.
now, what's your name again?
My name is Rashid. I'm the husband of Iman.
Rashid.
We are signed in as
So,
Iman. Iman is my wife.
Yeah.
She's with me.
okay. Yeah. So Rashid, now take a point that now you are not Rashid. Think that you are
Yes,
not Rashid. Okay.
yes,
Now you are now at the moment you are Iman.
yes,
Okay.
of course.
And now think why or how does it happen that Iman, as soon as you reach, wants to connect with you and feels that you probably also need to connect with her. Just now, you don't have this idea that you are tired, you've come back and you want 15 minutes. Now, this is not there. Now you are Iman,
Yeah.
and you are sitting there, and uh, uh, the husband is coming, and now how do you feel and what do you say?
Of course, yeah, I understand her point of view. The point of view now, I'm Iman, and I've had problems. I'm with my children, and I'm just waiting for my husband finally to come home to share it with him. Yeah, and so now he comes and I start, and he says, "Leave me alone. I want 15 minutes by myself." And said, I have a need. I want to share. I want your opinion. I want your help. I want your support with these stupid children. Yeah, and now I have to wait another 15 minutes or what? Yeah, or whatever it is. Yeah, and I don't know how long
Exactly.
you need the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're
Yeah.
leaving me alone. You leave me cooking. Yeah,
So
boiling
this is,
inside.
yeah, this
Yeah,
was the exercise. This was
of course.
exactly the exercise to
Yeah,
be able to, and again, who's right here?
Yeah.
both are
We
right.
don't,
Nobody's right.
yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay, I think
No.
somebody wants to speak. Maybe
But we
Iman.
cannot solve the problem, yeah?
No, 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 no. We are not solving any problem here. this exercise is not about solving problem. It's about creating an atmosphere that is of more empathy rather than trying to solve some, because you can't solve problem. Problems are not there like, always that they have to be solved. It's just the feeling, the feeling that I don't react because Iman tells me that I need to connect with her at this point of time, because I understand why Iman is saying that. Okay. Now, Iman will put herself in Rashid's place and say that, first of all, Rashid has already expressed, I need 15 minutes. Okay?
Yeah.
So what Iman does in that point, bring some water, again, I'm not saying necessarily, but I'm just saying that, oh yeah, let's
Yeah.
Cool this situation first, and
Yeah.
then say that, it was quite a tough day. The children were all running around and da 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 da, like that. So it's not
Yeah.
necessarily targeting both of
Direct.
you should have the same thought. No, it's not
Yeah.
like
Of
that.
course not. Of course not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
thank
that's
you.
wonderful. That, I mean, this is made up the whole thing very clear now, that we're not trying to be the same like the other. Okay, everyone is unique. Everybody's issues are not the same. Iman is not saying this because Iman, like, loves to be difficult. No. Or Rashid is not saying that I need 15 minutes because he's very selfish. No. His needs are different. Your needs are different. Both have different needs. But the point is not even to, like, okay, we will solve like the donkey thing. We will not solve the problem,
Yeah.
but we'll have a better understanding of one another. So
Yeah.
then I don't blame that person, because whatever they're doing, that's where the space is coming from. And then with acceptance, then we can grow. Yeah.
Thank
Can
you.
I ask a question?
Yes,
Can I
please.
ask a question?
Yes, please.
When Rashid was talking about the children, did he describe them as stupid?
No.
Yeah.
I said that the Iman was waiting for me to tell something that the children made her crazy. Yeah, and said now the stupid children made me crazy. Like this, that in this sense, I said stupid.
Yeah.
Please,
The,
can I
the
make a
word here.
request? Can I make a request?
Yeah.
Please.
Children are not stupid. Children
No.
are children. And please don't describe them as stupid,
Say
because
so.
children are sweet and
Now,
innocent.
okay, so now
I
hang on. Just stop.
I fully agree.
Can you all stop one moment? Can you all stop
My
one
wife
moment?
agrees.
Rashid, can you just give me one moment?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So words are very the way we understand words and the way we use words, it's very different based on culture. Okay, and I'm not saying, whatever you're saying about not calling children stupid or not calling anybody stupid, it is okay, fine. But in my culture, and many culture, when you say stupid, it is not the same as when you say it in English. And I'm not here trying to justify anything. I'm just giving you a different point of view. Okay, so if I heard what Rashid said, but I did not take offense on that or think that Rashid doesn't care about the children and calling them stupid. But the word stupid, in many language, you don't mean, you say, are you, like, sometimes, oh, you dumb, dumb child, or whatever it is. It's not a language that I would use, but I would be able to understand that actually in that context or this thought, it doesn't mean that, it means that somebody who doesn't really ignorant in a way, ignorant. So if I say, oh, they are ignorant, so ignorant, means they have not had the opportunity to understand, how to do things just like adults. But as you said, children are children, and they have, it's okay, because they have to be children. They are growing, they are learning. So I am so glad that this point came up, because this explains that it's not about you doing what I think you should do. It's about seeing what you are seeing. Okay. So it's not like, this is right and this is wrong and you should do this and you should do that. There are a lot of things in the context that can actually change that. I'm afraid we are short of time and I will not be able to do the last exercise, but I would like to give you the last exercise and you can do it with a friend. And this exercise, last one. So I would like you to use this method. And in this method, find a partner and you will do it as a homework. Find a partner and ask them to talk to you about something going on currently in their life, or something that has been an issue for them for a long time. So A would be speaking, B would be listening without interrupting. So the only condition for the second person, so you can find somebody at home who would do exercise with you. A would speak, B would listen, no advice, no interference. Okay, just listen. Okay, and when they are finished, okay, what B needs to do is how did they feel as A was speaking, and then you change roles. B will share their story, A would listen, and then A would note down how did they feel, and then you exchange notes. Okay, this is as I mentioned, we need to develop some techniques of listening. We need to be able to listen to the other person without interference, with a lot of peace and love in our heart, and really be connected to the other person. Like, be present, yeah, when the other person is speaking, and don't speak anything. Even there is temptation to say a word, don't. Don't, not even yes or no, or just be there in your presence and try to listen to the other person. Okay, so that's a takeaway class, because we had this, and I really am so glad that this came out, because I'm sure a lot of people would have seen how easy it is to judge others, you know, and that's the reality of what happens in real life. So I'm thankful for all of you for bringing this and creating this situation whereby I am sure many people have learned. So now, just to wind, there's a couple of more slides I want to show. One is how to incorporate empathy in daily routine by practicing active listening, which I just gave you an example of, and validate others' feeling. Set aside time for reflection at the end of each day to consider interactions and practice self-compassion as part of empathy cultivation process. So now I leave it on you. I leave it on you to try and do something about this, not just leave it as a workshop. Take it with you, see how you can improve your listening, be more, like, I can't listen when I'm, doing this, I can't listen. I can't listen when I'm, I don't even eye contact with the other person, you know. Yeah, there are some situations where you can't help it, but most of the time, if you're giving time to the other person, just remove all the distraction, and then try to, have time and reflect during the day, how things went during the day, and if there is anything that you can learn, and try and see if you can bring more compassion.
May I ask
Okay.
a question? One
Yes,
last question.
we are coming to that. We are coming to that. Okay.
Okay.
Feedback and questions. I have a
Your
few. There's a very little time, but yes, please go ahead. We have actually crossed the time, but go ahead.
in your last text on the screen, you talked about practicing self-compassion. Can you define self-compassion? What exactly is meant by that?
So the compassion is to
No,
be able.
self-compassion.
Yeah. I'm coming to that. First, we understand what is compassion. Compassion, like empathy, is the ability to give yourself that space, that you are totally accepting yourself the way you are, and you're accepting everything and all the situation, instead of judging yourself. It's quite close to the word empathy, you know, to be able to see whatever is going on inside here, and to accept myself the way I feel, because this is not just unique to me. It is common for everyone. Everyone goes through difficult time, But at that time, I need more love. I need more understanding. When I'm going through difficulty, I don't need, somebody to, take a stick and be behind me. I need to have love for myself. I need to have understanding of myself. And that's what compassion is about. It's that specific time that I give to myself, and I tell myself it's okay, it's fine. This is a difficult time. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going through that difficult time, and I don't need to punish myself, blame myself, shame myself. What I need at this point of time is I need love, I need kindness, I need understanding, you know. So that's what you do when you practice self-compassion. Okay, so thank you very much for coming, and I hope you join us next week for another workshop. And till then, from our side, lots of love and good wishes, and I hope you have taken one thing or the other. We would love to hear your feedback. Unfortunately, there is no time, but this will be posted on YouTube, and you can give your feedback there. And you can also give your feedback on WhatsApp, whichever number that you have that you connect. And any thoughts, any feeling, and especially if it is somehow useful for you, and how is it useful for you. Till next week, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.